It's Aloha Friday, 8:08 on Aloha Friday. We started at 6, came into a choked yard, had like 50 containers in it. So there was one container stuck right in the middle of everything that had to be moved before anybody could move. So I ran over to the mechanic shop and got my mud flat replaced. So yesterday this tire blew out and destroyed the mud flat, but now I got a nice new one. Once I got that fixed, we went ahead and hooked up to the empty container that was in the middle of the yard. Took that to the shipping terminal, San Allen. They didn't open till 7, so we had to wait for like half an hour. They gave me time to wash the truck a little bit, but I forgot to wash up my front window. So let's do that because it's filthy. I got a bucket of water here in the truck. So our second movement was a full 40-foot container coming down here to the Navy Supply Distribution Center. That's where we're at. We dropped their full, and now we're hooked up to this empty. Over there by the solar farm. It's just full of bugs. Window's all messed up too. Yeah, the truck is always a little on the dirty side. I'm not a real polisher like some drivers are. Some guys like to polish their trucks day in, day out. I do have a kind of a hack though that I use to make the truck smell good, because a lot of guys use air fresheners, and those things just make me sneeze. But what does work well for me is I just get some dish soap. This is Dawn, and I pour about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons on a rag, and I just leave that inside a bucket. And you'd be surprised, you open up the truck in the morning and it smells like fresh washed dishes. The other thing I have is this is just a bar of soap. It stays underneath the driver's seat, and this, when the truck is all closed up, will give the truck a real nice, pleasant fragrance. So when you open it up first thing in the morning, it doesn't smell like oily rags. Which, trust me, I didn't do these things. That's what the truck would smell like. So it's still just covering up the smell, but that's my little trick to freshening the truck. I know a lot of guys use air fresheners. That tends to make me sneeze when I have those things. So we're all hooked up to an empty. Going to take this back to the shipping terminal, Sand Island. Our third movement of the day. We just got to outgate it. Today's looking up. Windshields are clean. Sun is shining. I think it's going to be a good day, but it's going to be busy because this is Memorial Day weekend coming up. So everybody's going to try to get the work done today. $11:21. So we're almost there. Today is Lahaina noon in Hawaii. Lahaina noon means at a certain point during the day, the sun is going to be directly overhead. And if you were a telephone pole, you wouldn't be able to cast a shadow because the sun would be directly above you. So you'd be standing on your shadow. That happens today around 12:40. It's 11:20. But anyway, let me give you some insight to trucking, especially when it comes to local trucking. These are the situations that happen quite often that can be frustrating for some, but it shouldn't be because it's just the nature of the work. So yesterday, a co-worker picked up this container, brought it out here to this appliance delivery company, and got here a little after 12 and was told that there wasn't any openings on the dock and they couldn't leave the container. There wasn't any place to leave it, and so rescheduled the delivery. And so they rescheduled it for today. So today I get the run. I pick up the container in the yard, I do a post trip, and it's got a flat tire. The tire is actually off the rim. So how that happened, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's my problem now. So we then take the container from our terminal over to the shipping terminal, which is just 4 miles away, and it's pretty easy to negotiate that even with the flat tire. In-gate the full container, get the flat tire fixed, out-gate the full container, and bring it down here to this appliance delivery warehouse, where then I'm told we have to stand by while they offload because we were supposed to deliver yesterday and now you're delivering today, but we can't afford to leave the container on the dock, so stand by offload. It's no big deal. It's just, this is just what happens in this industry. And so we stand by and offload. I get to eat my lunch, and now it's time to drop the empty. I can't because the shipping terminal has closed for lunch until 1 o'clock. It's 11:20 now. They close at 11:45. So now I got to take the empty back to our terminal and find something else to do while the shipping terminal goes to lunch. Again, this is just the nature of the business. Everywhere you go, they're going to have different rules. They're all trying to live within their problems. And when you're a truck driver, you get to enjoy everybody's problems. And so that's what we're doing. We're having lunch, but that's just a little insight into how logistics can be a bit of a nightmare at times. It's a nice place. I'm watching the shadow here. I'm really interested in this one over here. As you can see the front of the container shadow and the actual container itself. And slowly the container shadow is moving in on itself. Eventually the sun will be directly overhead and the shadow will be directly underneath the container. But pretty sure we're going to be offloaded and on our way before that happens, but that shadow is getting shorter and shorter. Anyway, things you do when you got nothing better to do. Still got a banana left. This is what the bananas I used to grow in my yard. This is an apple banana. And what's kind of interesting about an apple banana tree is if I plant the apple banana tree in my backyard, within 90 days I'll have a banana tree that's 2 stories high. That's how fast it grows. So you get this huge banana tree that gives you these little bananas. And then once that tree is fully matured, it will set out what they call keikis, and within a year you'll have a banana patch of probably 10 banana trees in your backyard with little tiny bananas on it. And they grow that fast. As long as they have the water, they get huge. And I used to have them in my backyard at my rental, and I don't anymore because they're just really hard to control. They get so big, and they'll put out their runners and go to the other side of a fence line. Next thing you know, your neighbors has got your bananas growing in their yard. So it's not a real good tree to have in your backyard if you're a rental, because renters aren't willing to dig them up, dig them out, keep them under control. That's what we're up to. The original plan was to stand by and offload the appliances and then take the empty back to our terminal. But then halfway back to our terminal, I got a call and dispatch said take the empty down over to the Waikele self-storage, what we call the Waikele caves. And drop it off at the novelty cave or bunker or distribution warehouse. It's kind of a niche market. They get busy every 4th of July and Christmas. So you drop the empty over there. Going that over to a medical supply distribution warehouse in the Campbell Industrial area. Came back here to the shipping terminal San Juan. Got here at 1:20 and joined the very end remember right, these guys, they just park the containers on the street, so you just have to make sure that the back of the container is facing the right direction. It's a pretty easy spot. Okay, that's it. Enough playing around. It's time to go home. Look at all these guys. 5:12. Ridiculous. Let's get out of here. But no work till Tuesday, so except for the few of us that are going to work over the weekend, which is like all of these guys that are they're preparing the yard, so the work over the weekend will be easier. They're trying to get all the containers out of the way. That's it. So unplug. Turn up the air conditioning, the lights. Whew. Man. That was 5. We'll get out of here by 5:30, I hope. 775, another 1,000 miles added. 008. So yeah, we came in today at 6, waiting for the shipping terminal to open up. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 container movements. We stood by twice today, over an hour, offloading appliances and offloading playground turf. We drove 154 miles. I still got to find out where my paperwork is for the weekend. We're hauling for the big box over the weekend. Come in at 12. And then you usually get done around 1 o'clock in the morning. But depending on how many container loads there are, sometimes there's a 4-hour break in the middle. So it's not too bad. I take the truck home, have dinner, and then finish up. I guess the way I look at it, I see myself since I turned 60 3 years ago. I've been semi-retired. Meaning I don't want to work 5 and 6 days a week. I'd much rather work a 3 or 4 day a week, and then that way every week is like a holiday weekend. And that way I don't mind working those days that most do not want to work. Works out. Two more years, then we'll call it quits. I've been saying that for almost 10 years. I was all set to retire at 55. Financially, I was set. But my wife talked me out of it. She says, nah, you think you're financially set. But we're going to head on home. Wife's at Costco. It's Friday, so she'll bring home some fresh vegetables and make up a salad. And by the time I get wound down, I'll be ready for a bowl of cereal and go to bed. It's getting worse. Now there's 6 of them. There's 5 there and 1 here. But that's about it for this week. Thanks for watching today. Aloha.